bubblers suck. Like, there's a lot of types of pieces out there, but bubblers are pretty low on the list. Like, they are not good. And I was sitting here thinking about this. Like, I think they could be worse than a dry pipe under a certain circumstances. Like, if you look behind me, I got a ton of glass. It's totally not a green screen, and that's not photoshopped in. That's all glass. I got a lot of stuff back there. There might be over 100 pieces, but I was looking through them earlier. I think I only have like one bubbler. I couldn't find more than one actual bubbler, you know, something that doesn't have a removable bowl. I think if it has a removable bowl, maybe it's in a different category. But in my head, a bubbler is like a dry pipe with a little bit of water in it. You know, no removable bowl. They added a little deep chamber in there for it to bubble. There's some more elaborate ones. I have my quad bubbler, the 4-chamber bubbler, but that has a removable bowl on it. So I think that goes into like another category, maybe a bong, but not quite what I think of when I think of a bubbler. So I remember my evolution through smoking pieces. My first hits were out of like an apple. Then I went to like a blunt and a plastic gravity bong. I actually done a bit of smoking and getting high before I ever touched glass, now that I think about it. But when I started getting stuff for myself, when I wasn't just smoking with other people, I remember getting a dry pipe. I remember getting my first bubbler. I was so excited for it. I'm at the head shop like, hell yeah, dude. This is going to be like my dry pipe, but it's going to have water percolation because there's a little chamber in there that I could put water in. Yeah, bro, you put the water in, you fill your flour in there, you take a nice rip out of it, you hear the little bubble in there. Those tiny bubblers have like a classic sound to them. It's pretty nostalgic for me. And, you know, the first hit on it, pretty nice, pretty good. And then you're like, all right, bro, let's go pack a new one. And look, it's brand new. I just got the bubbler, okay? So I go to tilt it out like I do with my regular bowl. Let me just dump the ash into the ashtray, poke it out a little bit with the poker, and then you instantly start hearing a sizzle, and then you see like gray water pouring out of your piece, and you're like, oh yeah, there was water in there. There was water in my bubbler. The bubblers came from water. So like, look, okay, I messed up. I goofed a little bit. I'm not supposed to tilt it. You're not supposed to dump it out, obviously. There's water in here. Why would they dump it out when there's water in here? You try to like poke and scoop the ash out. You can't get all the ash out of those bubbler bowls. They make little removable screens that you can put in there, but that stuff's terrible. You trying to scoop it out, you get a little brush. Every bowl that you pack after has just like this thin layer of ash on it. It just gets dirtier and dirtier over time. And I was literally thinking about this before. I'm not actually sure where I put bubblers on my tier list. I'm gonna redo my tier list for ways to get high. It's out of date. I need to do it soon. I'm not exactly sure where I put them, but the more I think about it, they might go below dry pipes. Like it's hard to say initially. If I'm just talking about the first hit, like if I have a bubbler packed and a dry pipe packed, I'm gonna probably get a better hit out of the bubbler if they're both fresh and clean. But like 6 or 7 hits later, maybe only like 4 or 5 hits later, bro, that like 2 ounces of water in the bubbler is gonna be like pitch black by now. It's gonna be so full of ash, so nasty that like your 5th hit, your 6th hit off of a bubbler, maybe just your 3rd or 4th hit, depending on how much ash snaps through, like it's gonna be dark water. It's gonna be nasty. The dry pipe, because you're able to dump it out and get the ash out a little bit easier, and because it doesn't have the water in there just soaking up all the ash, might be cleaner, might be a better hit. I'm still not gonna grab either the bubbler or the dry pipe. I'm gonna go for the bong every time. But I was thinking about this. The first hit off of a bubbler is probably better than the first hit off of a dry pipe, but like the 5th hit off of a dry pipe is probably better than the 5th hit off of a bubbler because of how dirty it is. I just don't really use them anymore. Like I said, I've got a lot of glass. There's some stuff I just collect. I'm not like, oh yeah, bro, I have 100 pieces I can rotate through. So maybe if I see a cool bubbler, I'll get it. I'll add it to the collection. I'll take 1 hit off of it and then clean it. But yeah, bubblers, they suck, bro. They're not that great. I don't know. Maybe there's some bubbler wizards out there that are like, this guy's an idiot, bro. He doesn't know about the bubbler brush 9000 that keeps your bowl super clean in between hits. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's a way to do it. But seriously, like if you're just doing a few hits off a bubbler, probably not a bad piece. You go ahead and clean it afterwards, but you're not going to do 20 hits off of a bubbler. 20 combusted rips, like that thing is probably nasty unless it's huge. Maybe it has a little bit more space or more room to carry all the resin buildup. But most bubblers I've seen, you go into any head shop, they just have a tiny little bubbler. It's a little handheld thing about the size of a dry pipe, just a little bigger with the water chamber on there. It's very common. There's obviously a billion different pieces out there, but the majority of bubblers out there, not great. I'm not a fan. I think bubblers suck. I think dry pipes suck. But look, I've done a lot of smoking. It gets better. If you keep evolving, if you keep advancing your pieces, it gets better. I started out with an apple and then blunt papers and then plastic and then dry pipes and then bubblers and then bongs, and then the bongs get bigger and then they get better and then they get more and more perks, and then you realize that maybe more percolators isn't better. Let me just go back down to one. Well, that's what I think. What do you think? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about bubblers. Are they really great, or do you think they suck too? After that, follow me on Twitch. I do a smoke sesh every night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come get high with me, link your Amazon Prime, and give me that Jeff Bezos money. And if you didn't know, I haven't done any combusted rips this year. I'm gonna take my first combusted rips of flower May 20th. It's not 420, it's 520. We're getting lit. And if you never heard about recyclers, it's some of the best glass that you can get for concentrate hits. Check out why I love recyclers. Have a lit day, my dudes.